Hey everybody, on this episode of Mr. Fix, it's going to be another one of those post reviews, because it takes too much time to videotape all the intricate steps to do it. So let me just recap. You have one of those old style fireplace mantles, you want to redo it. This is what a new shaker style will look like. And the beauty about this is, do it yourself, you can do it for under 150 bucks. Wow, so this is what you're going to need here. Number one is you're going to need a lot of wood. First off, you're going to need three 6-foot pieces of 1x8 pine. Then you're going to need these pine slots. They're about, I can't remember the exact diameter. They are 5/16 by an inch and 11/16 by 8 feet. You're going to need some crown molding, 8 feet, one piece. Then you're going to need some pine that's going to be 1 inch by 4 inch by 8 feet. You're also going to need some glue. Also, bins. And now, the equipment also that you're going to need is, you're going to need a pneumatic nailer with about inch and a quarter inch brad nailers to nail everything up. You're going to need a miter saw and a table saw. And the last piece you're going to need is 2x8, 6 feet, 8 feet, whatever works for you. First things first, measure everything that you need, dry fit everything before you glue it, nail it, make sure everything works. In behind the scenes here, what these pieces are, focus in on here. I'm looking at this. When I'm looking at this piece is in here. This front piece is like this. So when I'm looking at the skeleton of this is what we're looking at. All the way down. So in behind we'd have a piece like this, all the way up. And you say, well, how do I get this? Well, after it's all there, the trim piece is going to hide that joint for you, just like that. Then, down here, you could rip one of those extra boards that you have, make it like that, and then you would have your baseboard style that goes around like this. If you zoom in on here, you got a choice here. At the bottom piece, you can either, I put one of these pieces and I just kind of went flush with here to make it look like that. But if you wanted to, you could put one of these pieces right here and give it more of a box look. I prefer not to. So, as far as anchoring on the bottom, what I did was when it was at this stage, without the baseboard, I drilled a 1-inch hole here, and I also put a backing in between, inside here, from here to here. So the backing was also like this. And then what I did was, I screwed right through this, right down into your trim, probably 2x6 across, and anchored the two bottoms just like that with a hole in there. So once you build it, you're going to come and you're going to do a box. You're going to have this 1x4 is going to go across into here. And you can go across, doesn't matter. This one here, the 1x4, has to go all the way to the top. That way you have a smooth look. Okay, so once you're doing the box, and then you got that the 1x4 that goes in behind here, then it gives you something nice to nail at with the one piece that goes all the way across. At the top, you're going to have one piece that goes like this, but you're going to also have, this will be your top piece that you nail this trim piece to. But on top of that, you want to do another one. And why do you want to do another one? Is because with this trim, you can nail it to the bottom one. So it goes like this. And that's the way it would look. Then your crown will sit right on top, just like I did, just like that. And then that way there you have a nice line to go to, and you go like that. Once you wrap around and measure these ones, make sure when you're cutting these on the miter saw, you turn it upside down, and then you make sure that it's set right, cut right. Practice it a few times to get these nice joints, but at the end, you want it just to be perfect. Your last piece, so once that happens, this one here, it's such a big piece. All I did was I just nailed it a couple of times. I caulked it, I painted it, and because it's a 2x8, I used wood filler. I sanded it a bunch of times to make sure that everything is perfect. If it doesn't sit properly or your wall's a little crooked, just run a little bead of caulking there and you should be fine. Once you have all your rough set out and you've sanded it and you filled it with any wood filler, and remember, and when you're nailing these all on, use your wood glue. Measure it, make sure that you're right. When you're ready to nail it, glue the back, put it on, nail it. Then you're going to use some wood filler to fill in all those holes, any imperfection that you see, any of those knots or whichever that you want to fill up, use the wood filler. Once that's done, before we get to your semi-gloss, this bins works really well. If there's any kind of knots or imperfection, you put this primer on, it's great. Give it a coat of this, and then probably 2 coats of your semi-gloss trim paint, and you should be good. Now, once I explained that you screw the bottom, this one here, before you put the top on, and you would see this one piece exposed, it goes all the way to the wall. Find your studs, screw two screws at the top just to hold that top in place, and then you're set for your mantle top. And like I said, the mantle top, just set it, make sure it fits right. I gave it about an inch overlap all the way around to make it look good. And that should be good. Make sure that when you cut, you can even sand the little rounded edge all around, and to give you that nice smooth look. All right, so that's the way that I put it together. Any design can change depending on how you want the boxes, more boxes, as far as these squares are concerned, or whichever. We've opted for this nice simple look that I think looks good. And this all can be had for under 150 Canadian. Obviously, I have other materials that are just laying around, so it wouldn't even come into. But when we're talking just wood, it's easily under 150 bucks, and I think you can't be beaten. I think it looks good. Thanks for watching Mr. Fix, and good luck to you and your fireplace mantle redo.